lockdown last year, that scene, and I just, poor Hannah and Mum, I was literally laughing for hours. And when I showed it them, they went, I don't get it. I'm like, well, it's just so funny.
Uh,
Oh, right, Republic. Republic. The Republic. Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports. Live watch along of Napoli versus Atalanta in the Coppa Italia. This is semi-final two, first leg. Of course, yesterday we were at the San Siro on Let's Talk Sport. We weren't actually there because me and Seb have still got a bucket list of a stadium to go to. Hopefully, who knows? Maybe COVID might disappear come tomorrow morning and we can go back to Milan games again. Who knows? But maybe that ain't going to change anytime soon. Anyway, we are, of course, focusing on Napoli and Atalanta tonight after Juventus got a fantastic away win at the San Siro. 2-1, thanks to two first-half goals from Cristiano Ronaldo. Made sure that they get the first laugh, you could say, of the tie. Can they do it in Turin next week? We'll find out in a few days' time. But for now, let's focus on Napoli and Atalanta, two big teams of Italian football at the moment. Of course, Napoli been a great team over the last 10 years or so, with Atalanta up and rising and got to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League last season. It was only in the last few minutes that they lost to PSG, which was quite heartbreaking because they were 1-0 up as well, and then they lost 2-1, and Choupo-Moting ended all that. But Sebastian True, he loves Italian football, he loves the pizza, but he also likes a bit of football on his pizza, which I wouldn't like to go there. It would sound awful. I'd rather have a banana on it. But Seb, how are you?
I'm alright, and yourself? It's been a weird week, but everything's well.
It's funny. I was watching the game yesterday, thinking if only Seb was there. But you were there by live
I, I,
chat.
I had a lot to do. I still had my last exam today, so that had to come before this. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm
How
sorry.
do you think it went?
Oh, I went okay today. It's just the other 2 days didn't go well, so that's the big
As
thing
long
about
as
it. Yeah.
uh, as long as it went as you hoped, then that's all that matters. But of course, if any of you have just tuned in, do give Seb a good look. Even though it's too late, he's
It's
had
too
the
late
test
to
now.
look.
So where have you been, our
Well,
followers?
yeah. Well, do what we can. Anyway, now we're just thinking of this game. That's all that matters, isn't it?
Absolutely, football is the cure. But Seb, yesterday, I mean, I don't know how much of it you saw, but Inter Milan, they were 1-0 up and then they lost at the end to Juventus, which was a good result because Juventus lost there a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and also it's been a good 2021 for Pirlo. The only match that they have lost is that one to Inter Milan, and I guess you can't complain if you're Juventus. I think they're still in the title hunt. They can get the Coppa Italia. They're still in the Champions League. It's not great what Pirlo's doing, but they're still in everything, and it's improving. So I I think it's okay at the moment. I think it's okay. I think it's more disastrous Inter Milan situation where they probably have to win either the Coppa Italia and at least finish second in Serie A, or win Serie A and at least get to the final of the Coppa Italia.
I think the one thing I've noticed with Conte and Inter at the moment is they're just so inconsistent, aren't they?
They're frustrating. They're really frustrating. But I think
Yeah.
all Italian teams, except maybe AC Milan, but then you do get the odd game, they frustrate you immensely. So I'm not too sure what to expect in any game now. Like, for instance, I thought Napoli, the way they started against Verona the other week, which is a match I watched, I thought they're going to blow them out the water. This game is going to end 5-6-0. They scored after 10 seconds. It was the fastest Serie A goal. And then they lose the game 3-1. Every team in Serie A, in my opinion, is very unpredictable, and I love it.
Well, here we go then. The game has kicked off. We're about just under 2 minutes in, and I forgot to actually put the lineups in the description, which is unlike me. But I'm afraid I ran out of time, so apologies. But if you have just tuned in, do give Let's Talk Sport a follow if you haven't already. There's other games going on in Europe tonight. Of course, the Premier League, uh, the German Cup is happening as well. So it's not just the Italian Cup. There's also the German Cup. And an empty Napoli stadium just looks really weird. I mean, the one thing I was watching earlier said that I found on YouTube was like a minute footage of the Napoli announcer, and he's so dramatic and it's great, and he's in his suit and everything on the racing track that goes round the stadium,
Yeah,
and he's just literally shouting everything. And I think he needs at least a few days off after the match just because he's lost his voice.
but that's what we love about Italy. It's not the shouting goals so emphatically that it's Spanish, but there's a great amount of passion in their voice and in the way that they love football and basically everything. Italians are very passionate people, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, and I love it. Absolutely love it. It's also sad that, well, we want to see fans in this newly named Armando Maradona Stadium as well.
Well, they renamed it.
They have renamed it, yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, they renamed it after
Which
Diego
makes
Maradona.
sense.
The only Serie A titles
sense.
that Napoli have won were when Diego Maradona was there as a player. So as much as they might have been there and about, they haven't won Serie A. Like even with the likes of Higuain when he had his immense season, or when they've been up there competing for the past few years, they've not won Serie A.
Interesting. I did not know that. Of course, Napoli. It's been a good few years as you mentioned, but of course it was sad times back in November when Maradona had. Actually, I must admit, people are probably wondering, Jamie, are you wearing a Inter shirt? Yes, I am. It was the first thing that I could find this morning, mainly because of the fact that I had it hanging up during the game yesterday with the Nedved shirt, and I left them hanging up. And then I woke up and went, I'll just wear one of those today. Even though they lost yesterday, maybe I should have worn the Juventus top.
Very passive aggressive, rivals of both these two teams. You think, you know what? Inter's the shirt I'm going for. Yeah, you went for it, and I just mentioned there that Napoli's won twice Serie A, but obviously Atalanta, they're still quite new to this whole big Italian football scene. The biggest honour they've won was the Coppa Italia in the early '60s, if I'm not wrong. So they're not this. And I've mentioned this before. Their salary cap is very, very low compared to basically anyone. They're competing in the top four, and you'd expect them to finish there, but they're not this renowned team like AC Milan or Juventus are. And I think that's credit to Gasperini as well. I'm a big fan, as well, of Gasperini, and I don't think he gets the praise that he deserves.
I think the one thing I find interesting about, well, the fact that with this they're doing two legs still, which I would have thought they might have tried to scrap just so that they can not worry too much about the schedule, because especially in England they got rid of the two legs for the League Cup.
Well, it seems like Italian football really kind of just shrug at any sort of adversity that comes about the fixture congestion. Even the Napoli-Juventus one, when it was contested in the end that Napoli were unfairly given the defeat, they just went, okay, fair enough, we'll replay the match. We have no idea when, but it'll be played sometime in the future. Which,
Yeah.
that could be also another stereotype that I do not wish to delve into. Sorry.
Well, there's a corner here for Atalanta who are playing in their away colours tonight. I had a feeling they might have got away with their dark blue and black strip, but
Wouldn't be
instead they
having
have
it.
to play in white. Wouldn't be having it, no. It's funny though, because you have it with Chelsea, don't you? Where, if I can remember, yeah, Chelsea and Man City normally play turquoise and the Chelsea blue colours in their game together.
But yet
Not
again,
Italy, though.
Chelsea being passive aggressive.
Yes,
I'm just messing. No,
especially Tuchel.
well, let's not get on to Tuchel. I actually have been impressed with Tuchel. I think he's done really, even just how to break down Burnley. I thought he did it expertly. I don't think Chelsea particularly have the players to always break down Burnley. Yes, fine. Frank beat Burnley